Why don't we begin today's podcast by remembering those nearly 3,000 souls who got up, got dressed, went to work 22 years ago and did not come home. They went home, but to another place, and we know that their families are in pain today. Thank you for just that moment. And, we've done this now, I'm realizing 4 years together that we've done this podcast on this day. And it always is just it brings you home as to what's really important. Well, let's take a look at the sky because we do have a week ahead where we are looking ahead to Mercury returning direct from being retrograde for the last couple of weeks. And ahead of that, which of course is Friday, are you not all fully aware of 4:21 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday? Of course we are. But we have a new moon on Thursday, the day before that. So this is a week to prepare for new beginnings. It's also another light week in the sky. So I thought let's do today a Mercury goes direct survival guide for the rest of this week. Just how light is this week? I'm glad you asked. The moon moves in from Leo, where it is now, to Virgo on Wednesday. On Thursday, new moon in Virgo. Friday afternoon Eastern, 1:44 p.m., that said same moon moves into Libra, and then Mercury at 4:21 p.m. on Friday goes direct. And there is your astrological week in 20 seconds. So let's talk about how are we going to get ready for this, because we do have a great opportunity. We have a new moon and a planet going out of retrograde one day apart. So here are my 3 tips for making the most out of this last week of Mercury retrograde. Tip number 1. Listen to yesterday's Subconscious Mind Mastery podcast about waiting and retrogrades and renewing our strength. We've been doing this Sunday series with a spiritual focus on subconscious mind mastery, and yesterday, this whole situation inspired that podcast. So not only are there some tips within there, but we look at a couple of sacred verses and we do a meditation at the end. So there you go, 20 minutes of prep time that you can find on that podcast, Subconscious Mind Mastery. And not to steal the thunder, but I love the Tao Te Ching. I love everything that it points us to and the ancient wisdom that it speaks of. But we went to chapter 15 in the Tao for these words: do you have the patience to wait until the mud settles and the water is clear? What a great analogy. Isn't that the way we've kind of felt lately? Like the water is muddy, it's not clear. All this stuff going on around us, a world that is completely different than what we've been used to. Is it spiritual changes? Are we moving into a new timeline? Or is it aliens? Or is it the evil demons of Mordor that are coming after us? I mean, what is going on? The water is muddy. Do we have the patience to wait it through, to, as the verse said, remain unmoving until the right action arises by itself? Well, you can just see the ancient master in his garden waiting, right? But we also have to move our feet, and that's part of the rhythm of the cycle that we get through astrology. So Thursday gives us some of that new beginning to get our feet moving, and then Mercury turns direct right there on Friday. So a new moon in Virgo, but today it's in Leo. So as we are dropping in on this story right now, we are looking at how we can move ourselves forward, Leo, expressing ourselves out there, but not yet. Tap the brakes. The timing isn't right yet. We have to do some planning, we can do some resting, we can do some reviewing, and then we can wait for Friday afternoon at 4:21 p.m. Eastern Time. And that really was my second point. Be working on the new beginnings now. And then survival tip number 3 that I think is a really good one just to keep in mind in light of today and what we began with. Part of that review as we're getting ready for Thursday and Friday is square up with your soul, with your life. You look in the mirror, eye to eye, and check out if you're living your highest path. If it comes up that you are, and those eyes look back at you with integrity and authenticity and say, yes, you are on your highest timeline, great. You can say with everybody else, Friday's coming, Friday's coming. But if something looks back and says, no, we know what it is too, don't we? Then you've got a couple of days to work through that. Perfect energy for it too, by the way. So those are your 3 tips. Number 1, listen to yesterday's Subconscious Mind Mastery podcast. Number 2, be working on these new beginnings that will be ahead of us, Thursday's new moon and then Friday's Mercury turning direct. And then just doing a check-in and square up to make sure that everything is cool. Are you on your highest timeline? And I know that you'll get there one way or the other. Thank you so much for listening today. And you know what? I love you. Have a great Monday.